Hi guys. Um, I was just thinking today. Well, not today. I was thinking of making this video today, but I was thinking in the past week um, that maybe you know um, I'm at fault for. It's my fault that my marriage kind of collapsed. Uh, what do I mean by that? I mean when I first met my wife, I was in a different situation. Um, I was younger, of course. Apart from that. Wait a second. Today, I'd like to speak to you about something, and I just realized I just cut myself, and I realized I was at the supermarket with a bloody cut on my nose or blood on my nose. I just realized that now, because usually the mirror you don't look at yourself, you look at the back, and just now that I put this mobile on, I can see. Hang on, there we go. That's better. Now I've got a red nose. At least it's not doesn't have that line on. Yeah, I cut myself yesterday. I was showing my son how to open up the beans cans. So obviously the really cheap beans cans, you need to use a tin opener. But the Heinz baked beans are more expensive, so it's got already a line there. So you just open it up like the Coke bottles of the past. I don't know if they still no, tins, cans of the past. I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, so he opened it up to halfway, and I said, no, that's not the way you do it. So then it's difficult to open. I tried to open it, and it made a big cut in my finger. Yeah, so it's a bit deep. It keeps opening up. That's the problem. It opened up whilst I was in the supermarket, so they gave me this. Yeah, so what was I on about? What was I talking about? What was I going to talk about? Yeah, I was just thinking about, my marriage and everything that happened. And always complaining about, well, not always, but some of the times complaining about my wife and how she's changed. The other day I was thinking, I had a thought. I thought, could it be my fault? Automatically my ego is going to say, my pride is going to say, no, how could it be my fault? But then um, I thought, well, not yes and no. My fault because I was a different person when we met. She was a different person, but so was I. I can say that she changed, but so did I. And I wonder if she changed because I changed, or we both changed at the same time, or roughly the same time. Let me explain. When we first met, obviously I was younger, my brain was working better, and I didn't have many health problems. I had the acid reflux problem, and I had the depression and anxiety problem, but I was taking medication for that. I was taking the full dose. So I'm not saying I was high, but I was quite happy at the time. Yeah, my acid reflux problem, I didn't really think about coming off any medication, but after you're on medication for bloody 5, 10 years, you think about coming off. And so that's what I did with my SSRI, with the brain medication, antidepressant, sorry. And it's been a struggle for about 10 years, maybe 15 years it's taken me to come down, to taper off slightly. And oh, look at them all barking. Let me just, they know daddy's home or someone's here. Well, as I was saying, I wonder if it's my fault, or when I started coming off the medication, obviously you're going to feel nervous, you're going to feel angry, more upset, and I might take it out on her, or take it on out on anyone that's around me. So I think that caused a strain on our relationship. Definitely, it must have. When you're going through your stuff, you're just inside your head. You can't really be objective. But I think now I have to move the car. Now that I'm having the separation, the breakup, I'm just thinking, oh, my son's fallen down. Sorry guys, I have to speak to you in a bit. So, as I was saying, my son's all right. He just had a little fall. He grazed his knee a little bit. Oh, I'm tired. I think I feel tired because it's the second day I haven't drank any tea. I've been drinking teas since I was about 20, 25 years of age. Probably, yeah, was it 30 years? 25, right, 35, 45, 55. 32 years. And I stopped yesterday. I reduced the day before. I went down to about 5 teas a day. On a bad day, I'd have about 20 teas a day. On a normal day, 15 teas a day, 10 teas a day. Without the teas, I have no motivation to make any videos or anything. So I haven't made any videos for 2 days because I don't have that drug. But I'm gonna go and make a video now, and try and generate internal motivation, not external from a drug. I feel so tired because I don't have that. I think caffeine, what it does is you've got something in your brain that, I don't know, some chemical called adenosine, and caffeine traps this adenosine and stops it from working. Adenosine makes you tired. So in the evening, like adenosine, I think, helps you to make you tired and not fall asleep. So obviously the reverse is true. If you don't have any teas or coffees or any caffeine, then you will feel so tired. Oh, I'm really sorry. Okay. So what I was talking about was, it's possible that taking the medication for all that time, meeting somebody and then being at this level, really happy and really cool, successful, or at least very positive, that's what I mean, and then being with that person and then coming off the medication. It's just like, a video I made about makeup. Sometimes antidepressant could be like makeup. You make yourself up. You show the best possible side of you. But it's maybe it's not. It is the real you, but it's an enhanced you. So imagine if you met a lady, she had loads of makeup on, and you never saw her without makeup. You got married, and then suddenly she decides, oh, this makeup is really bad for my skin, it's bad for my health. And so she suddenly uses less makeup, less and less makeup. And you think, well, I didn't marry this person. This is an almost totally different person. Not totally, but and you have to get used to that new person that you never married anyway. The same thing I think can happen with the medication. Like I was on a full dose of medication, and then after a few years decided to come off because I thought I can't stay on this for the rest of my life, or I don't want to. And it made me ratty, made me angry, made me like worry more. Obviously, it's sad as well, crying and stuff, like mood swings. Basically, a black cloud came over my head, and it's been really hard to shrug that black cloud off. At days, it's at times, some days it's. See, I mix my words up. I'm supposed to say at times or some days, but then I get at days. So some people will say that, yeah, I might have a bit of ADHD or something. I find that when I'm writing, my brain works like I don't know. It's like it's a different me, and either it's just a natural thing that happens, or when for years I've been writing things down, like my goals and cool things I'm interested in. You know, martial arts in the past, Taoism, Jesus, God, physical goals, my health, bodybuilding. I, I used to write about these things, my psychology, so many things, and of course my diary for years. But I've never spoken about it. So I find this speaking stuff is really difficult because you have to engage a certain part of your brain, the kind of analytical part of your brain, because it's to do with, I think I've mentioned this before, it's to do with language. And so, but the other part of the brain, when you're working something out on paper, or when you're drawing or painting, uses a different part of the brain, or maybe accesses different areas. And I'm used to accessing those different areas, not this talking area. So when I talk, I know it doesn't make sense, or I'm not using the words that I really want to use. But I don't know. Well, this is YouTube, isn't it? So I have to talk. I could write things down, I suppose. Yeah, maybe that's the point. Maybe I can write things down. But I'm not sure if it would make sense. Playing music and writing things down. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Well, anyway. Or maybe it's just normal that when you speak, it's more difficult for some people. Some people are more maybe analytical, and they can use that part of the brain, this part of the brain, and they're very good at arguing. Those people become lawyers or second-hand car salesmen or politicians. That kind of person. A bit like my daughter, my eldest. She's got like a serpent tongue. You say something, she'll quickly reply. You can't get away with making any mistake or anything with her. But myself, I find it difficult to put things into words. Like when I talk to her, I often lose control and get angry and smash things because I'm not really good with words. I can't find the right word. And if someone's being sarcastic with me, I don't get sarcasm. I don't. I kind of, yeah, I get it, but I don't want to play that game. I don't like sarcasm or banter. I don't mind. I'm not completely anal about it. People do what they want. It depends on what mood I'm in, obviously. But yeah, I can't take it for long, banter and sarcasm. And the thing is that, like, my daughter, if somebody used that sarcasm against her, she wouldn't be able to handle it as well. So, well, I don't think so. So I don't have that kind of analytical brain. So maybe this is why I'm not good at talking. I'm not good at expressing myself, or at least I think I could have expressed myself in a different way. And this is why I can't, um, I ramble on because I can't do a script. If I try to do a script and then have to, like, I have to read that script, memorize that script. It's like it's too much of that analytical left brain kind of work. I find it hard to do. I won't say can't to completely shut myself off, but it's not me. It's difficult to do for me, or I find it difficult. Well, anyway, going back to, I don't know where I'm going, but let's just go back to the subject that yeah, I think I, I'm at fault in a sense that I changed. And so in the last few years, I've changed, and it's really difficult to deal with someone who's ratty, who gets angry, who might smash things if they get every once in a while, not all the time, or is so frustrated and has a lot going on in their brain. You know, a person has to be like a carer, has to try and be really empathetic, and there's only so much a person can do if they're a normal person. You know, you'd have to be an angel, like what's was it called, an empath. And there's not many of those. A lot of people say, "Oh yes, I'm an empath." No, you're not. No, you're not. Some people have said, "Oh yeah," a lady I think said, "Oh, she's an empath." Oh, I found out she said that she's an empath, but then you know you say something a bit wrong, and then they get butthurt, and you know that they're not an empath. It's just a cool word to say. So I don't really know that word, what it means, empath. It probably means nothing because that person isn't empathetic. They think they are, but not to the level of, as soon as I don't know, as soon as somebody ticks them off, they're an empath until someone pisses them off, and they're not anymore. Yeah, I think there are a few people like that around. You know, if they get rejected, then their ego will step in, and they'll want to defend themselves, of course. So suddenly they're not empathetic anymore. They're a normal person. They're empathetic to the point where their ego is bruised, and we're all like that. But why set yourself up to be this person when you're not? You're maybe slightly kinder than other people, of course, yeah, and more patient, maybe. So, coming back to myself, you know, I think my wife would have had to be really, really patient with me in order to deal with my depression, my mental health, and my decline, because once you come off the medication, you're going to go down. Unless you fill your days up, you do exercise, you eat well, you meditate, you hormetic stress, pray, you fill your days up with positive things. Yes, it can work, but when you take the medication, no matter what you do, you're happy. And I did try to do those things as well, but once the captain is gone, then there's chaos. So once I'm taking the medication, then this is working well. Wake up early in the morning, do some exercise, do meditation, various types of meditation, go shopping, work on a project at home on the computer, or go outside on your laptop, and try and earn some money. Sleep early, eat healthy food, whatever that is. Make friends, socialize. Once you take that medicine down, you can't wake up in the morning. You don't feel like doing meditation. You don't feel like doing any exercise. You don't feel like you feel like eating the worst food because maybe your stomach's upset. You don't feel that great. You want to eat the easiest food that's easiest to digest. Usually it's junk food. You don't sleep on time. So everything collapses. Your whole structure collapses. You were once happy, you once had structure, and then once the captain is gone because the medication has been reduced and the captain is like sleeping at the wheel, then this whole machine, your spirit, everything is not right. And so my relationships were good before, and then the same with everything else in my life. My relationship collapsed because I wasn't me anymore, or the me that you know. There are two me's. There's the Seroxat me, and there's the real me. The Seroxat me is like an amplified version, an enhanced version of me, a happy version of me, a slightly more enhanced than normal. I'm slightly more happy than I would be. But then there's the real me. This one here, his whole world has collapsed. Can't do anything. You live from day to day, one crisis to another. And so I can understand why my wife, that's stressful, isn't it? And so that's why I say maybe it's my fault because I came off the medication and I changed. Before she didn't have to deal with me being not wanting to go out, me being scared of things like I had some disease or tumor or something, me not being worried about the medication I'm taking, all this kind of stuff. Yes, but there were, apart from the mental health, there were other things like money was going down. And so now we really have, no, for the past few years, we've had money problems because I can't work. And she hasn't worked because, looked after the kids. And we had to sell our first house, my old house that I grew up in, because my dad went into care and I had to release about 200 grand, for him. And I wanted to make sure nobody touched that money because that was for him, just for him. That money all finished. She's racked up some loans or some kind of debts. I mean, obviously you know, and I don't know, everything just. I was already feeling bad, but then my dad passed away, and I had to pay for the funeral. I didn't have any money for the funeral, so she borrowed money from her relatives. So I owe about 9 grand or something for that. I haven't paid for my dad's tombstone yet, so that's really important for me to do that as soon as I've got enough money. That is the most important thing for me. Yeah, loads of money problems. And because the captain here isn't working, like the last 5 years, I've been trying to make it work, drinking loads of teas, cakes, biscuits, or whatever, just to give myself some kind of a drug. Because obviously, it's missing this drug here. It's missing the Seroxat or the what's it called, paroxetine hydrochloride. And so it needs a new drug. It's missing something. It has to find it through another avenue. I'm not sure if it's serotonin or dopamine or whatever it is, but brain chemistry changes, and your brain tries to seek those chemicals or those neurotransmitters. Something to activate those neurotransmitters from another place, be it cakes, sex, something like teas, coffees, alcohol. It will reach out and try to get it from somewhere. So The sunshine is really good. That really helps. And so, in the winter, I need these drugs more, like tea, coffee. I need them more. So I think, so to cut a long story short, the purpose of this video is to maybe it's not always somebody else's fault. Maybe it's I think maybe I'm harsh if I say it's my fault because I've got a disease, I've got a mental illness, and I can't help it. People say do this, do that, lifestyle factors, a diet. Yeah, you can do that. It's going to do fuck all for your brain. It's not going to change much. I can have the best diet, the best exercise regime, or whatever. And yes, it might work, but the problem is having the motivation to do all that. If your brain isn't there, you just don't have the motivation to do it. I have the motivation to drink a cup of tea. I've been drinking teas and making plans for years, but I don't have the motivation to actually do it. Because when I'm there brainstorming, I have a drug. But when I'm out there going for a walk, when it's raining or doing some exercise or cycling, there's no drug there to drive me to do that thing. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I need someone to kick my ass out of bed and train and eat well, and I'm really trying. Like, I haven't drank any tea for 2 days and I feel like a zombie. Like I need a drug, I need something, but I'm not gonna go there. Well, anyway, yeah, so I'm just thinking, maybe it's my fault in a strange way. Or okay, maybe not my fault, but maybe it's not my wife's fault. Or maybe it is. Some people would say, well, she's your wife, in sickness and in health. But the problem is, I was married in communist China. There's no in sickness or in health in the registry office there, I don't think. So I think it's a normal thing for your wife to look after you, or your husband to look after the wife. You should look after each other if there's illness. But it doesn't work that way. How many times someone's got cancer or something and the partner just left, they couldn't take it, or has some kind of mental really bad disease, and they left, they couldn't. And it sounds bad, but it's really hard to deal with a person who has mental health problems or has some disease. You have to take them to the toilet or whatever. It's really, who can do that? My mum once said, yeah, you need an angel, like to be married to an angel. Someone who can bloody do everything for you. But where do you find someone like that? And someone that you want to be with, people are going to say, yeah, find yourself first. Yeah. Maybe, what if you don't like yourself? If that finding yourself, then you find yourself and you realize you're fucked. Without the drug, you're nothing. I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you've got similar experiences, sorry, let me know. Anyway, you guys, if you have similar experiences, please let me know down below. As always. All right, speak to you guys in another video. Bye. You keep me fading, and I don't care, 'cause I want everything that I've been running from. Every time I fall in it deep, and I can't fight it, I can't fight it. You wreck my mind, I'm losing my sleep.
So don't leave me